A very warm welcome to day 3 and our final day here in Gibraltar for the Inspire Sport Netball Europe U17 Challenge event at the Tercentenary Sports Hall. And what a weekend of netball we have had so far, and today is sure not to disappoint. 8 games so far this weekend have shown just how competitive the under-17 competition in this year. The netball has been outstanding. We've seen some great games of netball from all 5 competing nations this weekend. Host Gibraltar, Republic of Ireland, Switzerland, Malta and the Isle of Man. Here on day 3, Switzerland has emerged as the only undefeated side so far this weekend, but with 2 key games still to go, there is all to play for. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined again today in commentary by Bryony Ravino, captain of Gibraltar. Welcome, Bryony.
Good morning, everyone.
A lot at stake here this weekend. How do you think this game, which is going to get underway shortly, Switzerland Isle of Man, is going to go today?
I am actually so excited to be sat here right now. It's just going to be such an incredible match. I think obviously Isle of Man have to go all out because they lost yesterday to Gibraltar. And then we got Switzerland who want to go home with that goal. So yeah, it'll be so interesting.
And we'll bring you the starting 7 shortly. Who do you think are the players to watch in this game? Who are going to be the key influences?
Obviously, Switzerland have the height advantage in their goal shooter. I think she's 6 foot. Goddard is 6'1". Let's see what Isle of Man can do to counter-attack that. It's not easy. Obviously, I am a defender, and when you play against tall attackers, you have to find ways of mixing it up. And there are some interesting combinations in the Isle of Man. Yesterday, we saw they did 6 changes in the second quarter. I believe they may have changed some of them today. But we did see a good play yesterday by their centre, Jacqueline Charter. She did look tired at the end though, but they did have a match earlier on that day.
So as you can see there in front of you, we have our last 2 games of the 10 this weekend to bring you live from Gibraltar. Switzerland and Isle of Man about to get underway shortly, 10 o'clock local time. Stay with us for the final game as host Gibraltar close out the tournament against the Republic of Ireland at 12. And we will, of course, be bringing you the presentation live shortly afterwards. So as you can see, the teams are lining up there. Switzerland undefeated, Isle of Man with a lot to prove, Bryony.
Yes, it's only 60 minutes to go. I think they both have to go all out. And Switzerland do have a height advantage throughout the court as well. But Isle of Man, they do have some nice style of play and it's easy for them to get the ball up the court. So let's just see.
So let me introduce you to the starting 7 for both teams today. For Switzerland, goal shooter Goddard, goal attack Ralph, Deboutier at wing attack, their captain Mayer at centre, wing defence Harrison, goal defence Mackenzie Rorida, and their goalkeeper Gran Horville. Their coach is Laura Kehoe. And for the Isle of Man, you'll see them taking to the court shortly. I can tell you that they are starting with Cook at goal shooter, Webster at goal attack, Jacqueline Charter has moved to wing attack, Burgess at centre, wing defence Williams, Neen in at goal defence, and their captain Shepherd in at goalkeeper. Their coach is Emma Williams. The umpires for today's game are Katie Howell and Anna Hernandez, reserve umpire Lynette Wall. So when these 2 teams met in October last year, Bryony, Switzerland took that match 45-28, so it was competitive.
It was competitive, but then it's still quite a low-scoring game from the Isle of Man. So obviously I believe Switzerland did try and limit their goals.
So here we go. Switzerland for centre pass.
You can already see the height difference between their goalkeeper, Isle of Man goalkeeper Shepherd, and the goal shooter Goddard. But they still got the turnover.
So Isle of Man get turnover on Switzerland's first centre pass. We've talked so much this weekend about the importance of getting your centre passes scored, and I think there's a learning point for many of the teams here this weekend about the impact, because it's not just that goal, it then gives the opposition their centre pass. So we always say it's 2-goal difference when you turn over your centre pass.
Definitely, I think that centre pass to goal is crucial. So you have to convert, and if not, obviously, then the opposing team get a chance of making it their own.
So great confident start by Webster for Isle of Man. 1-0 they lead. Very early stage. I think we'll see an offside there just by Harrison.
Good circle feed there by Cook.
Really good reading of the game by Mackenzie Roida. She started this tournament wing defence, but Switzerland have put her back in the circle, and with Grant Hawkfield they've been really effective.
I think people underestimate what a wing defence can do, and obviously you're probably one of the toughest defenders on court as well, so that's probably what they needed in the centre, in the goal third.
So Goddard couldn't quite keep that one in. So Isle of Man have another opportunity to bring the ball down. Jacqueline Charter out at wing attack. We were interested by that choice because she's played centre all tournament really effectively.
Yes, she's had a good few games as a centre, and I do believe she's actually a goal defence as well, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously has a defensive grit in her. But yes, she does move to wing attack today. Could be because she's tired, but we might see her moving back to centre later on.
And remember, it may be a Sunday morning, but I'm sure you're all tuning in to watch the netball here live from Gibraltar. Join us and let us know your thoughts for the game. Use our hashtag NEU17 challenge. We're just showing it to you on the screen, and we'd love to read out your comments. Netball Ireland, good to have you with us. I know you're looking forward to the next game against Gibraltar.
Another lovely baseline drive by Cook there.
She's been doing that effectively all weekend. 2-0, Isle of Man. Great pressure there by Isle of Man. First phase defence.
They do seem to prefer the left-hand side, and they need to switch it up like they've just done with the wing attack, Jacqueline Charter.
So Webster, bit of height in the circle.
And that was a nice feed by Burgess.
No. 3-0, Isle of Man lead. Their centre pass.
Seems quite similar to the Gibraltar match yesterday, where Gibraltar were up winning as well, so it's going to be such an interesting match. You can see Switzerland are making it easy at all.
No, great commitment there by Mackenzie Roeder at goal defence for Switzerland. Great hands there, Jacqueline Charter finding Cook again on the baseline.
It's just so flawless, that baseline drive that she has.
We've seen her do that all tournament, and you would have thought that perhaps the defenders would have worked out a strategy for closing the back door there.
Yeah, I think a reverse pivot there, just not letting her go through.
So Isle of Man are really taking this game to Switzerland this morning. Webster finding Burgess in its centre.
Oh, great interception there by their goalkeeper, Grant Hawkfield.
Her speed of movement, Cook, is really effective in that circle. 5-0, Isle of Man lead. Perhaps not the score we might have expected this morning, but it's anyone's game. We have said that all weekend.
Not at all, but that's what we were saying earlier, that you actually need to stop their centre pass to goal now, so Switzerland have to work hard and convert.
We see Neen taking a great interception.
Interesting that she was actually a goal attack yesterday, so she's quite versatile to be able to play at the defensive unit.
Just hesitating slightly to the long ball into Goddard, but get the baseline drive, pull one back. Their centre pass. So Isle of Man leading Switzerland 5-1. It took them 6 minutes to score their first goal here. That's really good full court defence by the Isle of Man.
But it is quite similar, like we were saying yesterday. It took them about 6 minutes as well. So they just have to break that pattern and try and get into it as soon as possible.
5-2. Oh, and Guan Holdfield alert to the drive to the top of the circle there. Really good weighted ball by Ralph, finding Goddard.
She is very good at holding a space as well and having the height advantage. It's easier to just throw the ball in. Good pressure there by Goddard. As a keeper, that's probably the worst place to bring the ball in, and especially when you have a tall shooter defending that pass in.
So from 5-0 to 5-4. Great comeback by Switzerland. Harrison just offside, top of the circle. But Burgess again offside. It's just got to cut out those unforced errors.
We've seen so many over the last few days, and it's a pity because matches could have gone so differently.
Another ball handling error.
It's a nice dodge there by their wing attack they brought in.
Great feed into Goddard, holding strong under the post. Shepherd couldn't do anything with that. And what a comeback.
And their centre pass as well.
5-all. Ralph. So 6 goals without response now from the Isle of Man. What can they do on their centre pass, Bryony?
They've just got so much pressure now by Switzerland. Everyone's just got the stage 2 hands up, making it difficult, dictating where they have to go as well. Seems like an obstruction call.
So they'll be pleased with that. 6-all. Switzerland centre pass with just 6 minutes left here in this first quarter. Switzerland.
You can see the height advantage from their shooter, Switzerland goal shooter Goddard. So I think goalkeeper Shepherd must try and mix it up as much as possible, bring her out as much as possible.
Get her away from the baseline and an opportunity to take goal. 8-6 now. It'll be interesting to look at the stats for how many centre passes have actually gone with the team so far.
They should have this available if they have a performance analyst or anyone actually on the bench doing that. I know we do that, and then that's when we get key as to how many we have to stop or how many we have to convert as well.
Switzerland now really putting huge amount of pressure on every pass. Jacqueline Charter. So Webster got attack for Isle of Man. Sinks that one.
breaking by the goal attack, so obviously that centre pass is not, it's currently not going to go, so Switzerland have to convert this one.
So Isle of Man have an opportunity. Just a bit of hesitation there by Jacqueline Charter. So Switzerland again. Good hands over the ball. Well played, Cook. Where's that one going? Oh, that will be a throw into Isle of Man.
Probably she didn't realise her bearings, but she was actually
out of court. But great chasing of the ball by both these teams. So somebody just needs to settle it down, take a bit of control. Harrison rewarded for her tenacity on the court. So the score line here with just over 3 minutes to go, 9-7. We expected this to be a key game for the weekend, Bryony, and it's not disappointing.
At all. I think obviously, like we mentioned earlier, Isle of Man have nothing to lose. They have to go all out and try and get that win. Switzerland a bit more calm from what we can see. But yeah, it took them a while to get into it, but it's paid out in the end.
Webster again pulls the score back. So Isle of Man now within one. Switzerland their centre pass.
Oh,
better
nice
by
feed.
the Isle of Man. Nice.
Jacqueline Charter's having some great feeds into the circle, so I don't know whether she's going to be going back as a centre, because she's been quite effective though as a wing attack as well.
And it was interesting, we saw Switzerland yesterday bring their captain Mayer out of defence and put her at centre. So you've got that equal height in there, which was an advantage for Isle of Man. But then Isle of Man changed it up, put it to wing attack, not what we were expecting.
Just shows how versatile you are at that age as well.
So Switzerland, the smallest of leads by 1, 10-9 here.
That's good vision by the umpire, seeing the obstruction just outside on the other side of the circle.
Dead ball situation, can they get it in? They can, so 10-all.
Just under 2 minutes to go.
The goal attack looks like she's indicating she's got a knock to her windpipe. Let's hope she's okay. Goddard down the other end. Yeah, she has seemingly needs to. So we know the issues here in terms of the normal 30 seconds injury, unless the medical team and the umpire indicates to the bench they're going to give more than 30 seconds if the injury is significant and they feel they need to bring on additional medical care.
Yeah, you could tell that she found it difficult to breathe. She was finding it difficult to breathe, and paramedics are now assisting.
I don't know if she took a knock to the windpipe. Brian, I couldn't see.
It could happen, especially in netball is so contested nowadays that it can happen.
So as you can see, 1.5 minutes to go here. Quarter 1, game 9, day 3, 10-all. Unbelievable competition between these two sides. Isle of Man took a 5-0 lead, and then Switzerland, without response, put 6 on the board, and it's been go for goal since then.
Yes, and now just over 1.5 minutes left.
So Isle of Man centre pass. Three seconds.
Good hands there, making it difficult and obviously forcing Isle of Man centre Burgess to get that interception.
Long bomb. Didn't quite keep it in. So Shepherd trying to avoid the long arms of Goddard. Uses her phase 2 there to great effect. That quick release we've seen from Jacqueline Charter all weekend, and her speed of transition to support on the edge of the circle, really effective.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier, they do seem to prefer the left-hand side, but she's so quick to be at the circle edge just for the last pass as well.
So, Isle of Man, 12. Switzerland, 10, 20 seconds on the clock. Can they convert from their centre pass? Goddard can. So,
last few seconds.
Hold it there. So, what a competitive first quarter it's been here in Gibraltar. Switzerland against Isle of Man. Nothing between these two teams. One goal only splits them. So, oh my goodness, what's going to happen in...
We saw Isle of Man with a very strong start, then we saw Switzerland fighting back, and now we've seen Isle of Man fight back at what Switzerland brought onto them. So it's just like, we don't know what's going to happen over the next 3 quarters.
And of course, these events are learning opportunities for the coaching staff as well. In the game that Isle of Man played yesterday against Gibraltar, 8-all at quarter time, we saw Isle of Man make 6 out of 7 substitutions in that quarter. Do you think they'll do that today, or you think they're settled?
I very much doubt they'll do that today. As a coach, I wouldn't take the risk again. But they have their own reasons to do so. I think they have started quite well, especially as Switzerland were quite settled at the beginning. But to be honest, as a coach, I wouldn't do that many changes right now.
Well, we can see that both teams should be fairly happy with the score at quarter time. Isle of Man leading by the slimmest of margins here, 12-11. Switzerland the only undefeated side so far, but if Isle of Man take this game, it throws up all sorts of connotations for who may be the team to head up to the championship next March.
Oh yes, and obviously then it comes down to goal difference, I believe. And like I mentioned yesterday, we saw that last year here in Gibraltar with the senior challenge as well. And it's interesting to note that what goal difference means and how you have to just go all out for all other matches as well. So as a coach, it's so difficult because maybe that's when you want to make those swaps and those changes, but then you have to think, well, what if it comes into goal difference?
So we've just had the score readjusted by the technical bench there. So we can tell you that actually Switzerland are ahead 12-11 against Isle of Man.
I think it was the last shot there by Goddard. It could have been the other way around, put the other way around in our home screen.
Both these teams are still relatively new on the international scene, if you like. Isle of Man less than 2 years old. Switzerland celebrating their 10 years this year, decade of netball. We'll be talking to Joe Beveridge, one of their co-founders, in the next match. He'll be in Cons. Great to see so many new teams emerging, particularly for Gibraltar. You've done a huge amount in the last 10 years as well, so netball is really on the up.
Definitely, we were having this conversation earlier and how we're so thankful to just have one big netball family to be able to help us and achieve, and obviously, especially for Gibraltar, we want to increase our ranking, and I suppose Switzerland and Isle of Man want to do the same, and it's just opportunities like these that happen and we're able to learn from them.
So we do believe that there are some substitutions coming, so we will bring those to you, just looking at the benches. It looks like Meyer for Switzerland is going back to goal defence, where we saw her start the tournament. Interestingly there, putting her back in to put some pressure on the shooters now that they've got a bit more height with Duval in at goal attack for Isle of Man.
Maybe that baseline cut that we were talking about earlier.
So, as always, we'll bring you the official lineup shortly. As you can see, Harrison, though, has gone to centre for Switzerland. So Isle of Man gets the early turnover in this quarter, trailing by 1. That combination of Meyer and Guanhorville in there for Switzerland, putting pressure on the shooters, but Duval sinks that one. It's all level, 12-all.
Good pressure there
So
by
again,
Switzerland on the centre pass.
you can see Mackenzie Rowida now in at wing defence. Goddard.
Just a 1-point difference here again.
So Jess, looks like you are tuning in to watch this great competition between these two sides. Switzerland against Isle of Man. Hope you're enjoying the netball here, seeing Switzerland take a 2-goal lead, 14-12. Great defence by Switzerland.
Could go in there for that baseline, but it seems that obviously
So we've talked
Switzerland
about
goalkeeper trying to like make it difficult for her and obviously get in that interception as well.
so that height difference now in the defensive unit by Switzerland, really making Isle of Man hesitate, not really sure where the space is in attack, and here they come.
Especially the stage 2 defense. Obstruction call there
Duval
by Meyer.
picked up by the captain for Switzerland. Couldn't quite hold the ball, Mackenzie Rowida. That's not going to go in. So they've shut down those baseline moves. They're making it really difficult. Great defence by the centre court defence for Switzerland. And under pressure, Duval sinks another one for Isle of Man. 14-13. It was a late takeover. Yeah, we've just seen that a lot, haven't we? But Harrison really fought hard to get that one back. Great pass into Goddard.
Fifteen 13 now to Switzerland.
On Hopefield, just a bit late, nice touch by Jacqueline Charter, recognising the effort. And there she goes again, 15-14.
And they're coming back. It's going to be one of those matches. You can tell that both teams aren't giving up, they're giving their all.
Who are you going to put your money on, Bryony, in this one?
I can't say. Lately so many things have been happening that it's so difficult to say.
Great feed in to Ralph at goal attack for Switzerland. Lovely shot by her. 16-14.
Good reset there.
Oh, well kept in there by Cook. They're just finding their space is being completely shut down now by
Switzerland's defence. So tight there on the Isle of Man. They find it so difficult to get the ball into the circle.
So 10 minutes to half time, 2 goals in it. Isle of Man to bring the ball down. Oh, you see both Mayer and...
Nice feed there by Burgess.
That was a great take by Duval. Couldn't quite put it in. You can hear the crowd behind us urging both teams on here.
And we can hear the bells.
You can always hear the bells. So 17-14. Oh, another breaking.
Seems like a contact though, doesn't it? Because she was stood beside her.
In these critically close games,
that was
great
so
read.
well read by their keeper.
We've seen her do that all weekend, haven't we, Grant Hawkfield? Hunt the ball.
I think you got so many inspirational women, especially Gibraltar. I think she's known for that fly. And you have to try and make it difficult for them. So any opportunity you can take, you have to go for it.
It's great play. Now,
great shooter-to-shooter pass.
We have talked a little bit about advantage. Goddard to give them a 4-goal cushion. So this is definitely Switzerland's quarter so far.
It is. They have come back fighting, and it's so easy for them to get the ball into the circle as opposed to Isle of Man struggling.
So 7-3 this quarter to Switzerland, 12-11 at quarter time. So that substitution of putting Mayer back in the Switzerland defence has made a huge difference to them.
You can see how they have struggled getting the ball in. It's just the extra pressure you were talking about.
So Cook coming really deep. We haven't seen her doing too much of that this weekend. Great, there she goes. Baseline cut. So halfway through this second quarter, Switzerland are leading 20 goals to 15 here at the Tercentenary Sports Hall in Gibraltar at the Netball Europe U17 Challenge event.
The Isle of Man now have an opportunity to get the ball, and unfortunately it's gone off court, so they need to turn that over and then get their centre pass to go. Another ball handling error.
You can sense the pressure these players are under, Bryony.
It's not easy, especially when you've had 2 tough days of matches as well, so they just need to carry on going.
That's great defence again. It's like a wall of black when you look down the court. Really effective. Just not able to capitalise though, bring the ball out.
No, they are struggling slightly. They work so hard in the goal third to get that ball and turn over that ball.
Harrison, great interception on the top of the circle there. Read the trajectory of that ball really well. And here they come. Couldn't quite capitalise. So a bit of end-to-end here at this moment in time. 5 goals in it.
And another hunt there and fly by their goalkeeper, Grant Hawkfield. As a goal shooter, you should be thinking now what you need to do to position yourself to not allow that goalkeeper to be able to fly.
So the long bomb into Goddard. He doesn't disappoint. 21-15.
Isle of Man having to use a few too many passes in that centre third to get the ball through.
They missed the opportunity of popping it over to Cook as both defenders marked the goal attack. They are really forcing the ball wide. Grant Horfield hoping she could have caught that, but it was a great tip. And they are struggling a bit.
They are, and that's when you've been called for a contact. You need to use your time and to make sure that all your team is correctly positioned as well.
Good reading of the ball by Shepherd. So 4 minutes to go. Gap of 6 so far. 9-4 this quarter.
Nice transition there. But Switzerland are all over the stage too. Their hands are up as soon as the ball is in their hands.
So Cook with the penalty. Pulls one back. 5 the difference between these two sides now. Ralph looking for Goddard.
And a second opportunity now.
Takes the chance well. Not going to go anywhere apart from into Mackenzie Rhodes' arms.
Switzerland are very good at dictating where they have to take their player.
Oh, just too much on that. Now they're back chasing the game. Great feed by Deboucher to Goddard. Gives them a slightly more comfortable lead, 7 goals, 23-16. But of course, we've seen that in this tournament until
we see it too often happening. So everyone's just in it to win it, as we mentioned, and they won't stop until the end.
There we see the beloved cowbells. Great to see so much travelling support for both the teams here, but actually for all the countries. They're just tempting the long ball. The pressure.
They're finding it so difficult to get free that that's what they're reverting to, and unfortunately you have to stop, use your 3 seconds and position yourself correctly.
So 24 plays 16 into the last 2 minutes until half time.
And another long ball on the other side. Obstruction call there.
Again, just not having any options apart from the long one, which is exactly what Switzerland want the Isle of Man to do. It's really effective defence. There is no options. It's great defence. Oh, well played.
And good hands there.
That was good movement. You saw Mackenzie Rowida repositioning herself to be in between the wing attack, and Cook throwing the ball in. Just means that every ball they've got has got to be elevated. So 30 seconds left. 24-16, Switzerland lead Isle of Man. Their throw in. Can they take the ball to the post?
Good pressure now by the Isle of Man, making it difficult.
Seconds on the clock.
An obstruction call there, so obviously they get the advantage now in that shot.
25-16, and we see these two very competitive teams take to the bench with Switzerland a 9-goal lead now, 25-16. Bryony, talk us through that first half.
It's just been a whirlwind because we saw Isle of Man coming up so strong at the beginning, then Switzerland fighting back, Isle of Man fighting back, and now obviously Switzerland have a bit of a lead. We don't know whether they're going to make any changes now in the third quarter. The changes that Switzerland made in the second quarter were quite effective. Isle of Man are finding it difficult getting the ball into the circle. Is it a time for the coaches to make substitutions, especially for the Isle of Man? We did see so many yesterday that maybe they haven't found the right combination of players on court right now.
So in terms of quarters, we saw the first quarter 12-11. There was nothing to choose between the teams. Those key changes for Switzerland seemed to have the biggest impact on the game. 13-5 they took that quarter, and you could see the pressure the attack for Isle of Man felt under. The number of turnovers that unit for Switzerland has created at the back has been really effective.
Yes, the Switzerland defensive unit has been working so hard. We've seen just a few flights from their goalkeeper, Granddaughter, and obviously being able to convert the ball after those turnovers is a great win, because as a defender, once you get that interception and then your team being able to convert, that's a high for you as well. So hats off to them.
So there's been some amazing moments in this first 30 minutes of this game between Switzerland and Isle of Man. Let's bring some of those to you with some replays. So as we can see, the change of play and the change of tempo really proved effective from Switzerland, moving their captain back to what we saw her start the tournament in as goal defence. That combination of Mikienzo Rida at wing defence, Mayer at goal defence, and Grant Holtville absolutely shut down all the options for Isle of Man in that quarter. Bryony.
Yes, it has worked out for them. And depends on who you're playing, you have to take the risk and make these changes, but obviously on this occasion they stuck to their guns, and obviously it has panned out for them.
And we've seen Goddard, this is Switzerland's last game of the tournament. Very tall timber, but effective, able to move, gives different options. She has not had a quarter off, so if she plays this whole game, she'll have played 16 out of 16 quarters for Switzerland.
It is tough work, especially as a shooter, because everyone's relying for you to score at the end. So, yes, just being able to play 16 quarters and be calm and composed is good.
So we may very well see some changes for the Isle of Man. They're going to want to give themselves some more options in attack.
Isle of Man have nothing to lose right now, so they have to find out the most effective 7 players on court to be able to convert those, especially as they are struggling once it gets into the goal circle.
We're just watching the benches from here, and it looks, and I might be wrong, that Isle of Man are putting Jacqueline Charter back at goalkeeper. That's an interesting option for them.
She is taller than the current goalkeeper and Captain Shepherd, so they're probably giving her some tactics of how to stop her, stop Goddard trying to get that baseline run and hold, because she does have a very good hold.
So we will, of course, bring you all the official substitutions. This is what it's looking like from here. Another exciting 30 minutes ahead of us. Switzerland against Isle of Man. Switzerland so far undefeated in this tournament. 3 out of 3 wins before this morning's game. Isle of Man, mixed fortune so far. Looking to take the win here, if at all possible.
Yeah, like we said, there's only 30 minutes left, and they have to try and find out a way to be able to stop their goal shooters, obviously, and goal attacks, getting the ball in. So try and make it as difficult as possible. But it's a team effort. It's not just once the ball gets into the circle, centre courts have to try and defend up, or stage 2, have their hands up as soon as possible, dictate where their players are going to as well.
So Isle of Man, 2 out of 3 wins under their belt. They lost to Gibraltar in what was a really competitive game. So we saw them come out in this first quarter, take a 5-0 lead without response, but then Switzerland put 6 straight back on the board.
Yeah. It did take a while for Switzerland to get into that first quarter, but once they're settled, they've been having a very good game as well.
So let me talk you through the changes for Isle of Man. They have really run the bench, I suppose, with the impact of the goal defence and the goalkeeper at Switzerland. They're trying to give themselves some options. So for Isle of Man, starting at the start of this third quarter, Webster in at goal shooter, Cook moving out to goal attack, Leith now on at wing attack, at centre Williams from the wing defensive position before. Wing defence is now Burgess, and as we said, we are seeing some changes in defence. Shepherd now moving out to goal defence, and the height of Jacqueline Charter going to take on the might of Goddard in there. That's an interesting lineup.
Oh yes, 7 changes in there, so they have the confidence in their players to be able to make those changes, but is it a risk? We'll soon find out.
Well, if there are any changes for Switzerland, we will of course bring those to you as soon as the game gets underway. So just seconds away from the start of the second half here. Switzerland in a 9-goal lead, 25-16 against Isle of Man. So 7 new players combination out there. They're either going to come out and hit the court and impact quickly, or take a bit of time to settle. So going to be interesting few minutes.
It's the only downside of making so many changes, how long it's going to take for them to actually get on and with it. So hopefully they start on a high.
So Isle of Man immediately gets the turnover off Switzerland centre pass, but just couldn't capitalise. And Ralph will put another one on the board. 10-goal difference now, 26 Switzerland, 16 Isle of Man.
There's so much pressure there from anyone in the Switzerland team. They just got the stage to the hands up.
But that's the second attack, gone straight off the back line. Now, what can Isle of Man do? Goodbye, Shepherd. Burgess now in at wing defence, we've seen there. Better movement by Isle of Man.
Good transition there by the Isle of Man.
So Webster, goal shooter now for the Isle of Man. Pulls one back, 9 the difference.
Such a lovely drive there by Ralph.
Goddard couldn't quite keep it in. Great feed by Jacqueline Charter. They just allow themselves to get pushed up against that sideline.
As a defending team, that's probably what you want to do. You want to push them to the sideline as much as possible and not have the width in the middle. Good position in there by Lake.
I think Gone Horville will be saying to herself, I can get my hand to it, I can catch the ball. French speaking.
Yes.
I don't know what that was in French, but I think we got the implication. So Cook.
But it's interesting to see that regardless of what language you speak, everyone understands the rules.
So netball is the universal language. 26-18, Isle of Man centre pass.
Good hands there by Ralph. Tip.
Harrison.
It's better pressure there by the Isle of Man.
Get the throw in. Oh. Unlucky by Jacqueline Charter. Height making a difference in there, perhaps?
It is. And obviously, as a defender, when you're playing against such tall players, you just have to try and mix it up as much as possible.
Just trying to take the front pace. So Goddard again. Takes the difference in these two sides back to 10. 28 plays 18.
She is a lefty, so obviously you need to try and push her to the other side, which is not probably as comfortable and confident.
Webster. Unlucky there. So Switzerland come again. Bit of a misunderstanding there between Mackenzie Roida and Guan Hoville. So wing attack for Isle of Man. Leith calls for bringing the ball into her defender.
And just another ball handling error. Great hold there by Goddard.
Goddard made sure on that one. 29-18. 5 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Lovely feed, turning Goddard to the post.
It is. But as a keeper, you need to carry on mixing it up, and they say 3 seconds, 3 angles, so you just can't keep still and quick feet.
Hope you're joining in and watching this really exciting netball here down in Gibraltar. Remember, if you are tuning in, hashtag NEU17 challenge. Send us your messages, your thoughts on the game, who has been outstanding this weekend for all the teams.
Isle of Man get the ball back. Webster making it 19 for the Isle of Man, 30 Switzerland. Oh, good hands there.
Nice drive by Ralph at the top of the circle. Picked up by Goddard. Her effective height in there.
Read so well there by Switzerland's goal defense, Meyer. They've both had a great game, Meyer and Grand Oakville.
Isle of Man get it back. Great positioning and take by Cook. She will get the penalty. That discipline needed by defenders, just not to give away a penalty at the last second there. 31 plays 20. Better quarter so far for Isle of Man, 6-4. So nothing between these two sides at this stage.
No, not now, but obviously the lead that Switzerland had earlier in the second quarter has helped them so much.
Yeah, that second quarter really is hurt Isle of Man.
And sometimes it's just that quarter that's a decider.
Gran Horfield looking for the options, finds Meyer. It's good pressure by Isle of Man.
Oh.
Almost had it, Ralph. Replaying. So Williams in at centre for Isle of Man. Just too much. You're not going to get that over the head of Gran Horfield in there.
No, definitely not. Obviously due to the height advantage.
So 32 plays 20. Great pick up by Jacqueline Charter. Just
replayed.
Yeah, didn't quite get the cleanness of the take. Goddard takes another one.
It's a good shooter there, shooter pass there by Ralph to Goddard. Unlucky hands there.
Great pressure by Goddard. And she takes that one, deserved that. Worked hard in defence, 34-20.
Oh, great hands again by the goalkeeper, Gran Oakville. She's just all over the ball.
Footwork called against Leaf. The transition for both these teams from attack to defence has been really effective today.
It has, and I think Switzerland are slightly much more patient in their transition. Unlucky there by Shepherd.
Yeah, she got the hand to the ball, put the pressure on, but Goddard managed to keep hold of it. 15 now, the difference between these two sides, 34-20. That early release finding Goddard under the post by Ralph.
I think it was just free passes, and as an attacking team, that's what you want to do.
Just not getting the weight of the ball right in attack there, Isle of Man.
Obstruction call.
by Jacqueline Charter. Picked up a tip.
Oh, and again.
If you don't keep running onto the ball, you stand still. One of these two defenders are going to hunt the opportunity down.
They are on the hunt, and the ball won't come to you, so you have to go towards the ball, unfortunately.
So 3 minutes just over now left until three-quarter time. Switzerland 16 up. She's going to do that all day, if you let her.
Like we were mentioning earlier, shooters need to position themselves to not allow that to happen. There's been a lot of replay balls in this match as opposed to the footwork calls yesterday.
Looking for options. It's a good rotation there by Ralph and Goddard. Created two options for Switzerland.
Yeah.
The short and the long. That's so important to have those, isn't it, in attack?
Especially, obviously, when you're in the circle, you need to work together, and someone might just be doing a screen to allow the other person to come through.
So can they pull one back? They can. Isle of Man 21, Switzerland 37. So quite a significant 16-goal margin now, Bryony.
You can tell that Switzerland just kept on going, whereas the Isle of Man are struggling to get the ball in.
So 2 minutes left in this quarter. Been a really strong one again for Switzerland.
That's a nice shot there by Webster.
1:48 to go. Just a bit too far for Goddard. Well to pick that one up. Great split landing.
Great feed at the circle edge. Good pressure there at the centre pass by Harrison.
Great timing on her jump there. Goddard. 39-22. Their centre pass, just over a minute left now until three-quarter time. Oh, well in, Jacqueline Charter. Just not quite looking after the ball there.
They just need to use their 3 seconds, because obviously they're lobbing the ball over and not thinking as to who's going to be there.
Oh, well done again. Oh, great pop by Ralph. Easy feed in by Goddard. It's interesting, Goddard always takes the throw-in from the back line. Being the taller player, most teams normally have the tall shooter in there as the
You would think, but that's just an effective role there.
It is, it works. And maybe it's because Ralph has the change of pace and the ability to I don't know, but Goddard seems to be really
Seems to be
effective.
one of their tactics, and obviously as when you're analysing teams like this, you have to think of what they're actually bringing.
You can hear the crowd saying 5 seconds. Oh, such a great timed interception by Jacqueline Charter. Probably saved them a goal there. So as the teams hit the bench for three-quarter time, Switzerland are leading here in Gibraltar, 40 goals against Isle of Man's 22. So another effective quarter by Switzerland. Their changes have been really effective.
Definitely. We haven't seen that many changes in Switzerland throughout the match. But then again, we saw 7 changes in the Isle of Man, and that happened yesterday. So I don't know whether trying to find the most effective 7, as we were saying. They have had some good passages of play, but then they're not able to convert once it gets there, because they got so much pressure by the Swiss defence in the goal circle.
So another really strong quarter for Switzerland. They took that one 15-6. 13-5 the one before, so Isle of Man obviously tried to counter the effectiveness of the Switzerland defence that took them into half-time. Those changes perhaps haven't quite allowed them to do that yet.
You did see by the end of the third quarter that obviously their goalkeeper Jacqueline Charter coming in. It took her a while. She has got some interceptions, but then Switzerland's goal shooter Godard and Ralph are so composed that they're just making everything count.
So we said at the beginning of the game that when these two sides met last October, the outcome was 45-28. We didn't know whether that would be the case, but actually 40-22 at
quite similar.
time is quite similar. Higher scoring, this one.
It is higher scoring, but Switzerland have a very good stage 2 defence. They've got their hands up and obviously making it a low scoring game for the Isle of Man.
So if you're enjoying the netball here this morning, as you can see, Switzerland leading Isle of Man 40-22. Don't go away. We will be back at 12 o'clock local time to see the final game here this weekend between host Gibraltar and Republic of Ireland. That's going to be another really competitive game.
It is, especially obviously Isle of Man lost to Gibraltar yesterday, but then Gibraltar have to beat the Republic of Ireland to come in at second place, I believe. So if not, it will go to goal difference. So it's going to be another interesting match. So I hope you log in and watch as well.
So we will, of course, be bringing you that game live from Gibraltar later on this morning. 10 games, 3 days. Most of the teams here, every team has had to play 2 games in one of the days. It's been extremely competitive. We have to remember these players are 14, 15, 16 years of age, Bryony. It's been a huge display of competitive, top quality international netball this weekend.
Definitely, and obviously this will only make them fight much more for what they want, especially when you're 14, 15 and you've still got a few good years ahead in the under-17. You'll learn so much from it, and it's such an experience to be able to be here and be able to share this with them.
And it's really important at this age that they're looked after, they have the appropriate strength and conditioning, advice around nutrition, proper training, rest, recovery, because you know some of these players have got 20 years ahead of them to look forward to, and that pressure on them as athletes through that time really means they've got to be developed appropriately.
Yes, there's so much out there and there's so many opportunities that they have to take care of themselves now and obviously take everything and take all the advice that they've been given.
So we will bring you the changes. Isle of Man have made a significant number. Neil in at goal shooter, Deval back on at goal attack, Leaf staying at centre, at wing attack, sorry. Jacqueline Charter now back in the centre position, Burgess at wing defence, goal defence, Pitsy and Turner on at goalkeeper. No changes for Switzerland. So Neil, she'll be pleased with that. First shot goes in, yep, sets the nerves.
Good baseline drive there by the goal attack. Deval, but obviously Grant Hawkville getting her hands in.
So Maya giving Switzerland possession back. Better defence by Isle of Man. But Ralph cutting the front, 41-23. Nice ball into Neil. Scores another one.
2 out of 2 so far.
41-24. Their centre pass. So Neil. Not quite get that one in.
Good pressure on stage 2 by the Isle of Man.
Yeah, good distance before, so feet before arms.
I think it's a common mistake that most netballers make. It's just they think, oh, obstruction's called, and half of the time it's hands before distance.
Yeah. So Switzerland in a commanding lead here in Gibraltar against a very competitive Isle of Man, 42-24. Good ball by Jacqueline Charter. Leaf now back at wing attack. Trying to create the options. Nice way to
nice ball in.
So 25 plays 42. Their centre pass for Isle of Man. Nice. Feed in to Duval under the post.
They are working so much better, especially in that goal third.
So 42-26.
Another footwork called.
So the gap back to 8-16. Claude 2 back this quarter. And Isle of Man in possession again.
Another nice hold there by Neil. Oh, well read there by their goal defense, Bitsy.
Looking for options. Jacqueline Charter did well. That there was a free player in there in the circle. Grant Hortfield closed it down now. And that's not going to go.
She's just hunting for that ball. She might not be close to you as a defender, but she'll go and get it.
But isn't that a great stage, defense stage one there? She's kind of tempting the ball in, giving a bit of space.
Of course, obviously as a defender, you don't want your attacker to know that you're actually hunting for that ball. You just probably thinking, oh, she's not with me, she's not close to me, I can get that ball. And obviously that's when you have to go to the ball, because the defender's definitely going to try and intercept it.
Harrison's had a really good game in centre there for, having said that, for Switzerland. She has had a good game, just unfortunate footwork.
Delayed takeoff.
So 5 minutes gone here already. So if the scoreline stays like this,
quite similar to last year's.
It is. It looks like Switzerland will have come out the weekend undefeated, 4 wins from 4. So they will be making the trip to the championship next year. Exciting opportunity for them.
Definitely, it would be so interesting for them to be able to play against different teams as well. It's all part of a learning curve.
So they will face the Emirates, who were promoted last October, England, Scotland and Wales, with Northern Ireland playing down here in the challenge section next year. Ball getting pulled back. Umpire Anna Hernandez from Gibraltar, only 18.
Yes, she's only 18, and apart from being an umpire, she is a great player as well. So it's good to see how versatile you can be and just have these opportunities as a player and obviously as an umpire, which you learn so much from.
Great tip by Grant Hortfield.
She's not giving up at all, regardless of the scoreline.
So competitive, this Swiss side.
which is great to see. Just because you're winning doesn't mean that you have to give up, and just you have to fight for that ball. Great feed there.
So Goddard, 44-26, halfway through his last 15 minutes now. Four all in this quarter.
It could be that the changes are quite effective right now. They have made so many changes throughout this game that
so I make it 14 changes Isle of Man have made in the game.
Wow.
Interesting coaching tactics.
It is, but we did mention they are young, so maybe they're trying to find their path as well. So if they've still got a few good years ahead of them, it'll be interesting to see how they do next year and how many changes they do go ahead and make.
Yeah, this combination of Neil and Deval working well for Isle of Man. The shooting circle, 44-27.
Especially Neil, she does have that height advantage that they didn't have earlier, so she has a good hold as well. And there she goes again.
Options, Ralph, and that fast hands turn and release, finding Goddard under the post.
Her hold, she just holds to the last second when the ball is released.
45 now, 27. So just over 5 minutes to go. Who would you say have been the effective players, consistent players in this match, Bryony?
Especially the Swiss defense. Even though the Swiss attackers and shooters, Goddard and Rafa, had a good game, but the opportunities that May, Mackenzie Rowett at the first quarter and Grant Hopeville had created and been able to get for them is just, they've just been hunting for all those balls and never given up. On the Isle of Man side, they made a few too many changes for my liking, so it's difficult to say what would have happened if that person would have stayed in that position as well.
As we say, 14 changes compared to Switzerland's 3. Doesn't mean that was the reason for the result today. But interesting different tactics of the coaching sides.
Yes, obviously Switzerland not making that many changes, but it's worked so well for them, and it has throughout the tournament as well.
The left hand of Goddard scores another 47-28. She's been one of the dominant shooters. So with 4 minutes to go on the clock, we have almost an identical score to the match these two teams played last October. That match ended Switzerland 45, Isle of Man 28.
And just a lovely, yes, and a lovely interception there by Pizzi, coming back to the score. I don't know whether they've been given targets, because obviously based on what their performance was last year, but it's so similar, it's unreal.
And of course these two teams will have some players that were here last year, some not, because of the age under 17 and the deadline of have to be under 17 31st of December.
Yeah, but I do hope that both teams have some of the key players next year, especially Switzerland, obviously, as they're going up to the championship section. And another nice feed and shot there by Goddard.
So 20 now, the gap here. Just 3 minutes left. Switzerland leading 48-28.
And Ralph and Goddard
28.
Having a great understanding there, Ralph and Goddard, just that shooter-to-shooter pass. Just
A little bit of a misunderstanding there between Neil and Jacqueline Charter. They all need to stay focused for these last 3 minutes of this match. That was a great weighted ball by Debutier. Saw her turn Goddard to the post.
She just has a lovely turn and is so close to the post once. Oh, another footwork called. So, but Isle of Man still have to keep in it, because you never know what can happen with the Gibraltar versus the Republic of Ireland, and if goal difference starts to come into play.
So Switzerland have hit their half century. They're on 50, Isle of Man 28. We will update the on-screen scoreboard. There we go.
And there she goes again.
Mayer, as captain, has had an outstanding tournament. Many of these Swiss players have this weekend. Just put that foot down. So the clock here in the stadium showing just under 2 minutes to go.
Great pressure though by Switzerland. Stage 2, hands up.
So 1.5 left in the stadium. We've just got some technical issues with our clock on screen, so we'll make sure we talk you through the last 90 seconds of this game. Looking to find in front cut there by Devon.
Goalkeeper Gran Hawkville just being cautioned by a constant obstruction by the looks of it.
So 50-29. We literally have a minute left on the clock.
I think we're going to hear the Swiss bell soon.
and rightly so too. This has been a great performance by Switzerland. They came back brilliantly from a 5-0 deficit in the first few minutes of this game.
Maybe it was a tactic, you never know.
I'm not sure the coaches might say that.
Probably having a heart attack the first few minutes.
So they'll be looking for another one here. Well, couldn't quite hold it.
Toss up. One of the first few times I've actually seen it this tournament.
I don't think I've seen a toss up for years in netball.
No.
So 14 and the clock's ticking down. Will they get it in? One final shot. Are they aware of the time?
Swiss players on the bench are ready to jump on court by the looks of it. Oh, and a nice interception there by Pizzi.
And that is it. The Swiss will celebrate. They've taken this game and the tournament 50 against Isle of Man 29 today. What an outstanding game, Bryony, we've seen between these two sides this morning.
Yes, we did see Switzerland obviously not get into it at the first few minutes, but they came back fighting. So just in the second half of the first quarter. Isle of Man having a few too many changes as well, but the scoreline from last October is quite similar as well. So congratulations to Switzerland, who are now going over to the championship section next year. And obviously you never know what's going to happen with the Isle of Man, because now Gibraltar obviously have to beat the Republic of Ireland. If not, it goes to goal difference. So who knows who's going to win second place for now.
Well, I think Maggie Jackson, who's Netball Europe's technical director, will have her calculator ready. It's all still to play for. Don't forget, be back here 12 o'clock local time to see the last game, the Netball Europe U17 Challenge here between host Gibraltar and Republic of Ireland. It literally is going down to the wire. Bryony, it's been great to have you with us this weekend. We've really enjoyed it, and congratulations again on Gibraltar's Open bronze medal out in Hong Kong recently.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, and I can't wait now to cheer for my team, so I wish them all the best of luck.
And of course our special thanks here today go to Netball Europe